guys, it's been a while since I've uploaded and I apologize for that. I've just been really busy with schoolwork and so I haven't really got around to it. But today I really want to give you guys a nice look at my garden, seeing how everything's growing. And I do have it planted up now. It's I still have a few things that need to go in the ground, but for the most part it's ready to go. And yeah, so I can't wait to see how everything does. So this right here is a little portion of my garden. This is a bunch of pepper plants I have here. And this one right here is a yellow banana. So it's sweet pepper. And as you can see, it's looking really nice and healthy. Dark green leaves. And actually, we actually have some peppers forming already, which is really cool. If you see that, we've already got a little pepper starting. So that's cool. And I do have some more banana peppers. Here's another one. And I've just got them staked up with these relatively thin bamboo stakes. And this one I have a cage around. You really don't need cages for peppers, generally, because you know they're pretty short plants, and they're normally pretty self-supporting. But I just have this one just because I had the cage lying around, so I thought, why not? And this is another banana pepper. No pods on that one yet, but I'm hopeful. And these three plants right here are orange habaneros. This one right here is looking the best of the three. It's really starting to enjoy its environment. As you can see, it's got some really nice dark foliage and no pods on it yet. And this plant right here is a red bell pepper. So is this one. And so is this one. This year I'm really hoping that I'm gonna get a nice big crop of bell peppers. We don't have any fruit starting on them yet, but there are some little buds, if you can see that right there. These three are the last three peppers I have in this little bed here. These are called red Marconis, or also known as Marconi Red peppers. And this is a sweet Italian variety. I've never grown it before, but I've seen some pictures online and it looks like a really nice pepper. So so far the plants are looking very healthy. They've got the biggest leaves of any peppers I have in my garden at the moment. So that's kind of an interesting thing to note about this variety, is it seems like it grows really big leaves. But and this one right here is getting a bit shaded by this big spirea bush I have here, so I might need to prune this bush back to give it a bit more sunlight so it can thrive a bit better, but it's looking all right. And I do have some more pepper plants in front of my raised beds here. This one here is an orange habanero. This is a red bell pepper. These two right here are red bell peppers. They also have really nice big leaves, almost as big as the red Marconis, but possibly even bigger, some of them actually. But for the most part, these plants are doing excellent. We've actually got some growth in the crotches of the leaves there, where the leaf meets the stem, and that's a good sign. That means that the plant has taken root really well into the soil, and it's really starting to put on some nice growth. This is a banana pepper. I have lots of banana peppers. For some reason I planted a lot of seeds, I guess. But this one's also getting a lot of side growth, side branches. And we've got 2 flowers on this plant at the moment, and there's a lot more buds coming out. And then this is another banana pepper. This is yet another banana pepper. This one right here, for whatever reason, it's not quite as big as the other plants, but it still looks pretty healthy. I'm just gonna probably leave it in just to see what happens. And over here, I have some long red cayennes. Now, I've never grown this variety, but from what I've seen online and from what I've heard from other gardeners, it's a really nice variety. Produces lots of nice long red peppers, and apparently they have a pretty good taste. I've actually never eaten a cayenne, but they're supposed to be spicy but not too hot, so not too hot to handle. And this one actually is a little taller, so I tied it up to a stake with this green stretchy garden tape you can see here. This stuff is actually very inexpensive. I bought it from the Dollarama, or the dollar store. You can probably find it at any dollar store or local bargain store near you. Big box store should also carry it, but it's just a really good way to tie up your plants. I don't think it's biodegradable, which is the unfortunate thing about it, but it's really sturdy, and it also has that stretch factor, so it stretches in the wind so the plants don't break. And initially I was a bit worried about this plant here because it had a lot of sun scald. As you can see, it's a little white here. There's another leaf that's pretty bad. It doesn't look too bad on camera, but the plant's basically made a full recovery, so it's looking really healthy now. And there's yet another red cayenne. It's really starting to make that fork in the stem here, as you can see. Nice and bushy, healthy green. I couldn't ask for healthier plants at this point. And now there's a tomato plant here. This is a better boy. And this is an indeterminate type. It's a beefsteak, because you gotta love your beefsteaks, right? Great for burgers, great for slicing. And I just planted it in the native soil, and I added in some compost and some fertilizer and some eggshells, because tomatoes love eggshells. Great for calcium, I think. I mean, I'm no expert, but it seems to have worked well in the past to prevent that blossom end rot. And I do have some more peppers down here. So as you can see, I got a bunch more. This is a Prik Chi Faa. I don't know what this variety looks like. I really don't know much about this variety, other than the fact that it's a hot pepper, and it's looks pretty bushy at this point. And this is I think this is a red bell pepper, and this is my biggest. Just a sec. This is my biggest banana pepper I have on any of my plants right now. I'm just gonna put my finger next to it for scale. It's pretty big compared to the other ones. Still not that big though. But yeah, the plant looks good. And then these are some of my other peppers. I do actually have some more pepper plants in the corner. Don't know if you can see, but see those ones in the corner there. I still do have quite a few to plant, but I don't have that much space. So space will ultimately be the determining factor how many I can plant, and I'll probably give a lot away. So in total, I have about 30 pepper plants right now that are planted, and I still have a few more to put in the ground. Alright, so that was the peppers. Now I gotta talk about my tomatoes, my favorite plant to grow in my garden. Now, I have two raised beds here. They're both 4x8 feet, and this year I decided to make them just tomato plants because last year I only planted about maybe 15 tomato plants. No, I think it was more like 18 or 20. But and I didn't get enough tomatoes. I was really disappointed with my crop, and so this year I decided to plant a lot more. So this year I'm going to plant about 30 to 40 tomatoes. So far I have around 28-ish, I think. No, what's 6 plus 14. No, sorry, 8 plus 14, so that's 22. So I only have 22 planted so far. But I'm still gonna put a bunch in the ground wherever I can. Now this right here is a big beef tomato. That's a beefsteak. And this right here is a sun gold. Now, For those of you who don't know about sun golds, they are extremely flavorful, extremely sweet cherry tomatoes. I'd highly recommend growing them, especially if you're a new gardener, just because they're so easy to grow. And another thing that's good about them is, you know, they taste so good. Like, who doesn't like to grow something that tastes really good, right? And then this right here is a big beef. And these two at the back are heirloom tomatoes. So what that means is that they're kind of old varieties, and they're open pollinated, and they're basically not like genetically, no one really exactly like tried to breed these guys. They're just kind of more your natural heirloom types. And they got that potato leaf, as you can see. We've got a bit of flea beetle damage actually. It kind of stinks, but I'm hoping these plants will survive. So far they're still looking really good, so I'm not too worried at this point. And here's another Brandywine. I just got 2 here just so that I can get myself some nice pollination going on, making sure that I get the maximum amount of fruit set that I can. And this right here is a Better Boy tomato. I have a lot of big beefs and Better Boys this year because those are 2 hybrid varieties that have done fairly well for me in the past. This one has a fair amount of flea beetle damage, but it's still looking pretty good. Another big beef, another Better Boy. Okay, so that's that raised bed. But now this year, I'm trying something a little new, a little different. These are 6-foot bamboo stakes. I got them, I think like $4 a pack, and I think there was like 6 in a pack, so fairly expensive, but you know, they're reusable, and they're really good for growing your crops, for supporting tomatoes. So that's why I decided to use them. And this is a big beef. This is a San Marzano tomato. This is a big beef. This is an interesting variety I've never tried before. It's called Lucky Tiger, and I believe it is it's a grape type tomato. This is a sun gold, another sun gold, and another big beef. So if you enjoyed this video, please give it a nice juicy thumbs up. Also, don't forget to leave your comments down below. I really want to hear what you thought about this video, and give me any tips or feedback on how I can make these videos better and more interesting for you. If you have any questions, again, leave a comment. I'll be happy to answer you as soon as possible. All right. Thanks for watching, and as always, grow it best.